All right, folks, and welcome to this live uh, meeting from YouTube, we'll say. I like to do this a couple times a month, and I picked the Fed meeting, typically really because it was right in front of some major earnings coming out at the close. So that's Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. Right now, Meta is positive, uh, and Tesla is very weak. It's 387 below where it opened the year, 390. Microsoft typically has a lot of trouble around what I would call uh, earnings. You know, they usually get overdone coming into earnings, then correct for a week or so. Not much there, but I would watch Meta and see how Meta, since it was the target of a lot of speculation on Monday when the market was down quite a bit. And that's what I would do is I'd look at Meta as sort of the stock. Tesla's a different animal for a lot of reasons because there's a lot of I guess broad-based look at Tesla, and 390 is clearly the yearly open with a low about 373. So I would think Tesla probably is maybe lends itself to respond favorably regardless of the earnings report. We'll see if we're correct on that assessment. But in general, the market's been down all day. Went down and made some lows. The actual low today was at 60.42, and currently we're about 60.60. Market, is still positive. If you look at the 10-day trend, you look at the 2-day trend, we went up last night to that resistance level, 61.05. It's backed up, but it's hanging in there okay. I would tell you that if you just look at the reference bars from uh, the E-mini, if you just look at that and say, okay, what are they saying? You basically see some corrective action followed by a low. And the question is, can we get above that 60.90, which I believe one of the most valuable pieces of information anybody trading or looking at the market today could have had in their back pocket. 60.90 was the right pivot number. And if we can get close to that or towards those earnings times, which are after the close, that's a probably pretty positive take on the day. As far as the Fed meeting goes, not much. You know, they're pausing, and I think that a couple things that we'd want to look at is the plan today. What does the Fed plan on doing? It looks to me like they're waiting to mid-year before they make any rate decisions. That's based on what I'm hearing, and we'll see if that changes. Of course, they always leave that door open to go either way. So, Jonathan, do you have the dot plot coming into this meeting?
Yeah, we do have that inside the roadmap here. If we go to links and CME Fed Watch tool, I'll just post this into the YouTube in just a moment. But if you go to just cmegroup.com, Fed Watch tool, if you just Google search that, you'll get there. And a couple different looks we can go here. If we want to look at the dot plot along the left, there's a section here called dot plot. Let me point that out with my mouse so you can see that. And if we click on the chart tab, it will give us the dot plot for 2025 right here. It's hard to
Interpret
see.
that for everybody to make sure they're getting the point of what it's saying.
Yeah, I want to zoom in because it is a little bit hard to see. Zooming in is kind of funny, it looks like, but the blue is kind of the medium where the expectation is for 2025. It looks like between 3.75 and 4 is the expectation here. Now, let me zoom back out. Where is that zoom button? Okay, and get rid of that red ink. If I go back to, and this is from the last publish of this December 18th, 2024, if you can read that down here, December 18th, 2024. But so 3.75 to 4 is the current dot plot expectation for 2025. And just as a reminder, we're currently at 4.25, 4.5. So 2 rate cuts by a quarter percentage is what's expected for this year as of right now.
So if everything goes as planned, then, and I think the earliest they've got, if you look at the probabilities, what's the earliest time that we could expect one?
Yeah, so if I go up here at the top of this Fed Watch tool, there are tabs for each Fed meeting. So the next, we got a little bit of a good 2 months here before the next one, or almost 2 months. So a good stretch in between now and the next one. But if you click on March 19th, you can see that we're still expected to stay at the current rate, 77% unchanged at the next one. And let's just toggle out to May. May's got, and let me get rid of that red ink so it's easier to see. May's got 56% on unchanged for May. So the odds are increasing a little bit in May to drop at a quarter percent, which means June probably, let's see. Yeah, June's got the first meeting so far on this tool. Says June we should be expecting a quarter percent rate cut at the June meeting. That's what this is saying right now. July, still at the 4%. September, getting more neck and neck with that 4 down to 3 3/4. October is about equal, 1/4 to 0.5%, and same for December. So June's the first expected rate cut as far as the Fed Watch tool is telling us right now. And then the next one probably coming in September, I would say, is the current expectation. September, October is that.
Yeah, and I think what that's telling everybody is the Fed's not gonna do very much until Congress establishes the fiscal policy. And what does Congress have to do? They keep talking about passing the tax bill, and a big, I guess, gripping of the agenda. And so we won't know that until we get closer to Memorial Day. And I think that's the time Congress has said that they were going to act. So really, you've got a lot of up and down movement, but I think if you look beyond that, action really happens after we get to May, both with fiscal and monetary policy syncing up. And it wouldn't surprise me to see the market start anticipating that. So far in January, today's the last day of January, we opened the month at 59.50, and today we're at 60.72. So percentage wise, it's been a decent January. Would you say, Jonathan, 60.72 to 59.50?
Yeah, percentage wise, as of right now, that is over 2%, 2.1% or so.
Yeah. So the point being is that a decent January, as January the whole year goes, I think it's 85% of the time the way January closes out, the year goes. So it looks to me like it's going to be a decent year. And the question is, where will the market add add the numbers? And it looks to me like a lot of different stocks will take leadership roles. And of course, today we have three big ones reporting: Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla. And it would be my belief that Meta is the one I would keep my eye on, because that stock is probably going to take a leadership role in the mix of the what they call the Magnificent Seven, right? And then we'll see how it shakes out. I'm very curious to see if Microsoft follows its trend, which is usually down a little bit for about a week or so after their earnings, and if Meta really if order flow into Meta takes us higher, we'll probably pull the market back together. And again, 60.90, the pivot number I gave you at the start of the day, pivot. And I'd always encourage you to read our white papers and understand how valuable that can be in the course of a day. Okay, having that pivot number that I put out every day. And I would say one of the most free things that I do is give you that pivot number. Learn to use it. It'll help you trade it. Jonathan, that's about all I got with this Fed meeting, and I'd say the Fed was, he's doing everything possible to avoid gotcha questions and really not saying a whole lot about anything. Therefore, thank you for coming. And tonight I'll be back at 8. We'll see how this thing closes out. We'll have the earnings in our pocket at that time. And there's the white paper booklet Jonathan's put together. I'd encourage you to get it, read it, digest it, and use it to understand the daily flow of money. I use it every day. Again, 60/90 is the number that would tell me that, hey, we're going to go higher. We haven't been that high. I think the biggest rally got to 81.82, but you got about 45 minutes left. We'll see where everything shakes out at that time. Again, looking at the reference bars today, you had a spark there at Genesis, then the sell-off after RB4, and now you're back up in that range. So most of the down action occurred, and now it's trying to settle down. And what's next? John, if you got anything you want to add?
You'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, correct?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think by then we got the Fed out of the way, and these earnings is probably going to set the tone for the rest of them. So patience will pay, as I always say. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.